We're back right now. It's tied up 1-1. BL showing us play that we've actually, I mean, I know there's been a lot of StarCraft 2 games, and I've casted at least half of them that I've ever had.
Well, you've pretty much casted StarCraft 2 since the beginning, so that is a lot of games.
I've casted a lot of games, but I had never casted a game where we had Queens in an Overlord chasing around an air unit and zoning it out. I've never, ever had that.
Well,
this is a special day, guys.
You're going to see like crazy stuff in StarCraft 2, and for the first time ever in a broadcasted game, I guess, well, for us at least, we've seen harassment.
I have lost my Queen Overlord harass virginity, and I'm glad you guys were all here to be part of it. This is pretty cool. That was really different. It really makes me think about the way Overlord drops can be used. I know we saw some Bling drops used early on, but using the Queens with it, because initially, I don't know why in my brain I was thinking like, oh, well, would the Queens transfuse the Lings? And then I'm like, oh, no, the Queens would transfuse the other Queens, of course. What am I thinking? But just hadn't seen a strategy like that. But that was awesome, because the Mothership Core normally is the main deterrent from the really early Zerg harass. You know, eventually the Mothership Core is going to get over to the place it needs to be if it's out of position, and it'll be pushed away.
As we see here, our third game will be Hush against KeeN on Orbital Shipyard, and these are some very sad pentagons that we're seeing here.
These aren't even actually pentagons. These are actually trapezoids, if you look at them carefully. So this is, well, I mean, I think KeeN's actually better than that. But, you know, Hush, by the way, one of the newer players we got here.
Yeah, Hush, known for being a PvP sniper for CJ Antis, but unfortunately for him, it looks like he's going to be against KeeN.
We have our casters, a little bit of a disagreement here. It's 3 of us versus 2 of them.
Yeah, it looks like both Kanata and #1 going for Hush, but we'll see how he prepares for this game.
All right, guys, it's time for game number 3 here. KeeN against Hush. Sorry, I bumped the mic there. All right, let's go. In the bottom left, in the red, Hush. In the upper right, in the purple, KeeN. Somebody I think we're all pretty familiar with.
Yeah, as the CJ fangirls finally getting the courage to cheer on their team. Freaks with a largely male fan base here, supporting Afreeca. And the map is Orbital Shipyard.
No yawning here, guys. There's nothing boring about this.
I love watching when they pan the camera to the crowd. An iconic moment of Korean esports in general is seeing those fangirls hide their faces. And do you know why they hide their faces?
Well, it is, there's multiple reasons,
yes,
but one is simply a cultural one. Shyness is considered a respectable trait in Korea.
Yep, and the reason that I like to tell people that don't know why they hide their faces was back in the day when they were high school students and middle school students. Most of them would skip going to the Hagwon, which is basically like a private church.
That is true. I wasn't sure if we were going to say that here, but yes, that's another reason. Is sometimes there are after-school programs out here in Korea, and some of them would come down here, sneak down to see their favorite players duke it out.
And because video games are being shown on cable television, there is that inherent risk that their parents might be watching TV.
You know, mom and dad are watching. They're saying, "I'm a big KeeN fan. I got to tune in. I gotta root for my boy."
Yeah, but if I see my son and daughter in the crowd, I'm like, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah.
As we see here, KeeN going for that early command center, no surprises there, along with that Reaper. And Hush here going for another gas with that Nexus.
So let's see, you know, KeeN actually looked pretty good when we casted him earlier on. I'm interested in seeing if he's going to do better this time. Who did he lose to? Again, was that Innovation?
Yes, I think it was Innovation.
Yeah, it was Innovation.
He got bopped quite hard, actually, in that game, so...
But I mean, Innovation, I think, is a totally different level from Hush. I think this is going to be a closer match, probably with KeeN as the favorite.
Yeah, we'll see how KeeN's TVP plays out on this map compared to his TVT. KeeN's a very solid player, don't count me wrong, but as I mentioned before, he's in that tier with players such as Byung, where he's not at that point in his career. Well, he's been playing the game for so long. I remember him from like the early seasons of GSL, but he hasn't really improved that much to the point where he is like a championship contending Terran. He's just very solid.
Yeah, he's just solid. That's a good way to put it. Like, he's definitely somebody that can take games off any player. He's definitely somebody that you'll see pretty often in like round of 16 of GSL, maybe round of 8. But yeah.
Okay, as we see here from players, KeeN actually going for a quicker third base, which is quite interesting, getting that command center. I guess he thinks that Hush isn't going to punish him for his choice here. And I see the Reaper just patrolling the front of the base of Hush. And we see also for Hush, the Oracle going out. It's going to scout that base. And we'll see how much damage that does, especially with KeeN opting to go for that earlier command center rather than pumping up Marines.
Okay, he's sending out these Adepts. Might be able to get that Reaper. Oh! That was really close.
That was really close.
That's actually pretty cool, though. That didn't even occur to me. Just getting those Adepts together and then just trying to
snipe.
Yeah.
But I think
just break that Adept in that one moment.
Yeah, you have to note that with the recent patch, if that was the pre-patch, that Reaper would have been killed. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be dead. So you need about 4 Adepts to kill that.
Yeah, so KeeN really liked it there to get away with that Reaper. As we see the Oracle coming to the base of KeeN, we'll see how much damage that can do. As KeeN is adding another barracks. He hasn't got a tech lab yet, though. But
Cyclone just gets out in time, by the way.
So that Cyclone's going to do that job of deterring away that Oracle.
So he's going to poke up here. Oh, maybe he'll get that SCV, actually.
I think it's too scared of that Cyclone, so it's going to fall back. Or maybe try and find another angle here where it can do some damage before that Cyclone can come in and kill it off.
I was telling this to Dan, but have you ever noticed in the gaps where you can't land anything, you can see like below the level, there's like a city. You see that movie, The Fifth Element?
Yes.
Look at the traffic down there.
Or Blade Runner as well.
Blade Runner, oh no, that's definitely Fifth Element traffic. Blade Runner, I mean, the traffic was bad, but that was like bad LA traffic, okay? But I mean, when you looked at like Fifth Element, man, I mean, that was just...
That's like Tokyo traffic.
That's like,
Seoul traffic.
That's like Tokyo traffic right there.
Oh, like Seoul traffic is
Mumbai
awful.
traffic.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Seoul traffic's pretty bad. I wouldn't say it's the worst that there is.
No. Definitely Mumbai's worse. As we see a cute stasis ward there being placed by Hush. Traps that Marine, but in the end, it's not going to really count much. It would have been better if that Marine was under the command center so he couldn't land, but I guess that's what Hush was trying to achieve there, but alas, he did not get it.
I haven't actually tried it, but I wonder if you can place that so they have to get just close enough that it detonates and then that Marine's trapped there. I'm not sure. I have not toyed with that in game myself. Anyways, more barracks coming down here.
And we also see the double forges being put down by Hush. Looks like he wants to get those upgrades out really quick. And as this Cyclone actually gets intercepted by
this is pretty good for KeeN. He's chasing him up there, and he's getting pretty close, and into the tower he goes!
Nice play there from KeeN. And
really nice. That was good game sense to be out there, to be looking for that Oracle at that point in time.
For sure, and that Cyclone is still going to remain on the map, so if Hush decides to go for a War Prism, maybe that War Prism will also get intercepted by the Cyclone. We'll just have to see how this game goes on.
All right, well, I mean, this is a great start. Losing the Oracle takes away a lot of the tools that Protoss needs to mod. Oh, my God! Now, Phoenix should be... Oh, what? Okay.
This Phoenix is going to get pick up that Cyclone, rather.
Yeah.
And
it got at a funny angle there. I thought for a second that Phoenix would get away, and then he's like, no, he's not locked onto me. I'm actually fine with this.
As we see this Phoenix just chipping away at this Cyclone.
And now we discover... Okay, there we go. So the Phoenixes and the Adepts are moving out. +1 attack is complete. Note that Hush is buffing his Adepts, so he might try to just come in here and full-on engage when the time is right.
But those Shades, though, they should have seen the fact that KeeN had no army there at the front, so he should sniff out the fact that there's a drop coming in.
Problem is, I think he could just unload and kill this air army if he doesn't control it.
Too many units for KeeN right now in terms of Marine count.
I dig the pylon setup here, the spotter pylons in the middle left. That's pretty cool.
It's really cool. As we see here so far, okay, so Hush is opting to take that 4th base, and it looks like he's thinking of going for that primarily Adept Phoenix army, which is a pretty solid unit composition to have in this matchup.
Okay, so he's going to unload over here. This is fine. I mean, even if he just gets this, he takes out the pylons, whatever. It's like if he took out pylons in their main or something, only you can get back home a little bit more easily.
As we see here, another pylon of Hush is getting taken down by KeeN, and what's good about these pylons is that they're delaying this medevac harassment that KeeN was thinking about. But we see here, split up army as well. The Shade's coming in, trying to surround this army of KeeN, split up from his other army. Ooh.
Oh my God, but meanwhile, a big attack over here. And you can see he's trying to come in here and do some damage. Is he going to be able to pick up and go on the high ground? We see the Adepts coming down here now as well, unpowering two of those gateways. Adepts not comfortable enough to get close here, trying to stay out of range of these pylons, but as the Adepts come up, he books it, or at least attempts to book it out of here. He's going to probably have to unload this.
Yep, he unloads that. He's going to lose that medevac, but it did his damage right there, taking out, not only delaying mining time, but taking out a few probes, catching the army of Hush out off guard.
It's actually 60 workers to 76, so I mean, that was a pretty big play there by KeeN.
As we see KeeN here, just dropping his army that he had in those medevacs at the bottom right. Is going to use that to harass more, and we're going to see some Ghost here early on in this game. Relatively compared to when we normally see him when the Terran takes that 4th base. So Ghosts do a really good job against his armor composition. Remember, Adepts and Phoenixes are light units, so those Ghosts will add extra damage. And the sniper ability is really good as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it for snipe. We see tagging here on the army. That's going to cause KeeN to go back and think twice about moving out on the map. Another medevac drop is coming around in the cavity at the bottom right. This could put a real lot of pressure on the 4th base in the bottom center. Yeah,
but if Hush decides to go for a counterattack here, it's going to be really important for KeeN to place those Widow Mines correctly so they hit those Adepts rather than the Phoenixes and this one Oracle. As you see, both players actually...
He's coming here with everything. Oh, nice job with the Ghost actually pushing forward. That actually scared the Adepts back a good amount. Yeah. Meanwhile, the drop is coming in here, not into the bottom center, but in fact into the main.
So we'll see how much damage this drop can do right now. Upgrades just finished on those Forges, but even then, KeeN should snipe those Forges off. And we're seeing shades of the Adepts coming to try and flank this army. We'll see how much damage it does. No.
Oh, nice. With the Widow Mines there, he had to pull around.
As we see here, a big clash of armies between these two players. Drop here as well.
Oh my God, he's not even moving those Stalkers properly. And as long as he's over those Widow Mines, I don't think the Adepts can shade in on that at all. We have Colossus out here, which is a little bit less common now in Legacy of the Void.
Sure, as we see these Adepts just trying to get good angle to surround this army, but KeeN's just moving forward, and I'm not sure how much these Adepts can do. They did get EMP'd before by the Ghosts, so see how he approaches this battle.
It looks like he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. And this might be bad with these Widow Mines, taking out a huge number. The Adepts, though, completely on top. He has to pick up the remaining units and begin to retreat.
Yeah, really nice move there from Hush, trying to get KeeN into a tough spot there. Shades surrounding that army, and those Widow Mines didn't really do the damage that they were supposed to do.
Okay, he guns down those Ghosts. Not a bad game at all. It's actually pretty action-packed. KeeN in not bad shape at all. He is going to have to start incorporating probably some more Vikings, I would say, to try to handle these Colossi. I guess you could use Liberators as well if you wanted to.
But I think in this case, Liberators cost a lot more gas than Vikings do. Also, in this game, KeeN is investing extra gas into those Ghosts. So we're probably going to see, KeeN needs to get some sort of anti-air for those Colossus. You can't let your opponent get a mass of them, because it gets to that point where they get a critical mass and you can't really do anything about it.
He's going to try to push forward now. He's coming up. This is a little bit dicey here for Hush. This is an army that can't really retreat from a stemmed army when you're moving out. Unless he has a Mothership Core over it, and yeah, he does not have one over that. So he's starting to come out. Let's see how far he actually decides to push. And I believe we just had Terran actually scan on top of that, so he's got a good idea of what's going on. Even taking a factory and using that to float out to act as a spotter.
Oh, we get to see some disruptors here from Hush. So looks like he wants to get the gamut of units from that robotics bay, robotics facility rather. So disruptors and Colossus, quite a potent combo to have.
Okay, he's coming up. Yeah, I would say definitely don't try to engage in there. Protoss a little bit uncomfy. Looks like he might be questioning, do I really want to attack in here? The medevacs have been spotted that we're going to move out here to try to punish the fact that Protoss was in the middle of the map. Looks like they managed to take out that Phoenix in time.
Ooh, I really like this multitasking here from Hush. Getting those adepts to that 4th base of Alive, and as a result, he has to maynard those SCVs away from that 4th base. But looks like he's going to mop this, but oh no, nice pick up there from the War Prism of Hush.
Oops, excuse me. That's the beard. That's the beard of Taste. Just keeps brushing up on that microphone. Excuse me. So he comes up here. He does secure the top center. It's even bases right now for both of these players.
Really liking this robotics heavily based army here from Hush. He's only getting that Templar Archives right now, but he's been given so much time to build up his Colossus count and get those extra disruptors that it's I really like the composition that Hush has in this game at this moment.
All right, well, we have a scan over here. He's just trying to monitor, is that army back at the base or is it on the middle of the map? Because Terran does have the option to pick up and try to drop elsewhere around the map. We actually see more Stargates being made right now as Protoss actually wants to switch into endgame tech here. Possibly getting some Tempest, we'll have to see.
Yep, as we see here, both players just trying to jockey for position right now. Hush actually was taking that bottom right base here, so it looks like he wants... Wow, he's only actually getting Colossus range as well right now, so I guess he saw that Viking count and realized that he needed to get that range as soon as possible, and yeah, this game's going pretty slowly right now considering the situation.
Yeah, it's been a pretty passive game, hasn't it? I mean, you've seen both players try to harass, but then the other player deflects it with ease.
Yeah, looks like Hush is posturing to try and take out this 12 o'clock base of not Alive, KeeN. These SPs are going to get picked off by these Colossus and Stalkers, but we might see a count. Oh, nice, nice move to the depths there, but we see the Vikings here coming in.
All right, he's coming forward now. So many Vikings starting to gun down. These Colossi, the Stalkers do blink forward. Oh, man, and he's going to get these, beautiful Liberators right over here. He can gun down these Disruptors. He can get the Colossus. He can possibly take out this entire army.
Oh, that's some really cool move. Oh, actually, that was really lucky.
Almost got that Mothership Core. That was so close.
But he lost a lot of Colossus there for next to nothing because those Colossus couldn't get those shots off. If Hush microed that better, he would have done a lot more damage to that army of KeeN, but he was maxed out, and now he's getting Tempest to accompany his new army composition that he's thinking about.
More and more SCVs are being taken down here in this back expansion that's actually mined out.
And we see here the Adepts just chipping away at these supply depots. It's probably not going to amount to much, but at least he's bringing back these Marauders and just Marauders with this medevac back to that base of KeeN. As we see, 15 SCVs are killed by Hush, but at this point of the game, it doesn't really matter how many SCVs you lose because you have so many orbital commands that you can just drop down those mules.
Okay, we now see Hush beginning to push up here in the center left portion of the map. Scans going down, another Adept drop. He's got to get out of range of that turret, and he does. We'll have another big warp in here in the upper right, and this should draw Terran's attention away from the upper left, which Hush is ready to strike at next. Yeah,
so it looks like Hush is going to take out this top left base. In the meantime, he's trying to deflect this harassment going on at the back expansion, but it's more.
Oh my God, he can actually trap this in here. If he gets the Vikings and manages to get that Mothership Core, he gets it!
That's unfortunate for Hush there. Oh, it's really bad for Hush right now. And his Sevens actually get caught off guard. These Liberators.
I think this game actually may be over. Wow. This is so much a valuable unit loss. That didn't make sense how that came out. These units are too valuable to lose. Tempest and Colossi, the amount of gas, the amount of build time that takes to get an army like that, you just cannot afford to do that.
And now KeeN is just waltzing into the base of Hush here, and 3 Tempest and 3 Colossus aren't really going to do much against all these Vikings. I mean, he needs that AoE Storm or something like that for these Vikings.
His air army alone is going to clean up all the other important tech units, and I think that should be it for this game. Game number 3. KeeN is crushing Hush, and this victory is going to put the Afreeca Freaks in the lead here in our second best of 5 for day 2 of Pro League.
As Hush is just collecting his thoughts right now, figuring out what happened there in this game. We all know what happened there because we saw it ourselves as Man of Mules as well. And not really much to say about this game anymore, except
it's done.
It's done.
We're like watching a lion eat a gazelle right now, and Yeah, the hunt is over. It is more Marines and Marauders coming down here, hitting this Nexus.
If we were cooking a steak, it would be so much more than well done right now.
It would not be edible.
It would be burnt.
It would be burned. It'd be, yeah, it'd just be charcoal. There's GG. A big win here for Afreeca. They may be able to close this out.
KeeN doing a really good job there, noticing that that mothership core was the key to recalling that army away, but Hush getting way too greedy there and got punished appropriately. Couldn't recall away, losing those high-tech units that were in the top left trying to kill that base, and KeeN taking advantage of that and winning the game.
Can't hide that smile. That's got to feel good. Right now, the Afreeca Freaks are 1 win away from winning their match here in Pro League.
Yeah, so KeeN, congratulations to him taking his first win off Pro League for this season.
But we're not done yet. It's going to be game number 4 now.
Yep, game number 4, Ragnarok against Billowy on Ruins of Ceres. And we saw Ragnarok play against Super last week in Code A. He lost 3-1, but he's still a very solid player. In SSL, he's doing very well. He did beat Innovation in the winners bracket. Billowy, we haven't also known as Lure. These players with all these name changes, it's really frustrating, honestly, but we'll call Billowy here. We haven't really seen much of him so far in Legacy to Void, so I'm very keen to see how he performs in this match.
Yeah, and I'm very Billowy about how KeeN's game went back there. Guys, thanks so much for joining us here on day 2 of Pro League. We're going to be going into our next match shortly. I will say, though, I think this is going to be a tough one for the Afreeca Freaks. If Afreeca can make this, you got to give a lot of credit here to Billowy if he actually moves on. I think he's definitely the underdog. I think most people would agree with that.
Yeah, I think if they want to win this series against CJ, they have to take it out here, because if it gets to an ace match, CJ have players like Bjol who can win against... they can win basically Bjol. Okay, let me rephrase what I'm trying to say here.
Bjol start the cast over.
Yes, redo. Okay, Bjol can basically win against any of these players on Afreeca Freaks, and as a result, it's going to be really hard to snipe him. And even though they know that it's most likely going to be Bjol coming out for that ace match if we get there, it's going to be really tough for Afreeca Freaks to prepare for that.
At least they're winning a game here. That was really nice. Well, they've won 2 games here, but let's see what happens now.